Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I'm here with day 17 of Follow a Sketch February, a hop started by Sandy with Scrapping Reflections or State Goddess here on YouTube. And I can't tell what this says. I think it says Heather and then the last name starts with a W, but I can't tell for sure. And it looks like it says like 2013. It's a really fun sketch. I enjoyed it, and I'm documenting this picture of me and my sock monkey cup I got for Christmas. I'm using some pretty old, like 2009 or even older stash, and getting some things used up off my desk. You'd think it was a Tuesday the way I'm rolling with all this stuff. And I just created a layout with these pineapples and said I never use them, and now I'm using them again. I have this pocket Project Life pocket card that I want to use as my journaling space. And I'm going to use this Ombre Brights by Recollections as all the fabulous layers. And then, of course, I have a piece of black matte stack that I'm going to use to matte my picture. And I'm really excited because these colors in this paper pad match the card that I picked out of my stash perfectly. And I was excited about that. So I went with these three colors. Orange is not my forte. I don't even scrapbook pink a lot, but that teal, favorite color ever. And so I felt like they all match. So I've got my papers, my embellishments, my picture, and my sketch. So let's see how this goes. So first things first, I'm using this pink and that orange for the top layers. So there's a large square or maybe rectangle, depends on what you want, that your picture and the journal and those four little squares are going to rest on. And so I decided I was going to use the orange and the pink. And I want a lot of that white, but not like a ton of the white from this paper, the ombre. So I want the white on the top for the pink, or on the bottom for the pink, and on the orange, the white will be towards the top. That way the lighter color is on the darker color. And so there's more of a contrast. I don't know if it'll end up that way or if I flip it. I couldn't tell you. But you know, one way or another, it should stay similar. And then I'm going to use these darker pieces to make my squares. I made the squares 2 1/4, and then I matte 2 of them on black and 2 of them on white. I do 1 of each on black and 1 of each on white, and I'm going to use that. I didn't want to put them all in white because then they wouldn't stand out as much on that orange paper, but I didn't want to do them all in black either, so I went ahead and did 2 of each. So I'm just getting everything kind of laid where it's going to go and debated what I wanted to do here. So originally I thought I'd put this straight down on black paper, and then I do believe, yep, I'm going to pull a white matte stack and do a thin border of that first, just to lighten up that background. My walls in my apartment are a dark, like a teal, and so it's pretty dark behind me. So that's how they were when I moved in. It's my favorite color, but I wouldn't have chosen it because it's very dark and it kind of makes things, you know, other than that bright light above my head, it's probably all that silver hair I've got. Anyway, so I am then leaving this black matte stack at a full, I think I left it a full 4.5 by 6.5. I may have trimmed it up a little. And then in the sketch, the journaling space is tucked in a little bit more at the bottom. I can't do that because there is words on the bottom of mine, and I don't want to cover that up. And I think it says right now or something like that. I looked it up before I put this card on here. And so I knew that it was fitting of what was going on, but I also read like 20 cards to see which ones I wanted to use. So I can't remember for sure which one I went with. I don't speak Spanish, but I loved this card and I thought it was fun. And I'm really excited to have an opportunity to use these Sock Monkey embellishments that I've had obviously for 15 years. And those pina colada looking drinks are also pretty old. Now, you might wonder why I am scrapbooking alcohol with my lovely Sock Monkey coffee cup. It is because
This is New Year's Eve, and there is no coffee in that cup. Now, I don't drink very often, and anybody that knows me can attest to that. Usually one wine cooler will give me a little bit of a buzz, and that's all I really need. But my soon-to-be ex-husband came over with my kids and couple of my daughter's friends, and we had games and we had drank, and everyone was safe. I already documented some pictures and explained that everybody, nobody that was driving was drinking. And he made me a pineapple upside down cake drink in my coffee cup because I don't have any cups, you all. I don't ask me why. I just don't. I think I gave him the cups when we split everything up at the house, and I don't guess I ever bought any. I don't know. We've got coffee cups. I have my own water cup that I use, and so does my child. And so we had like plastic disposables in the beginning. I don't know. Anyway, one way or another, I had that, and that's what I used. I just got it for Christmas from my Secret Santa at school. So I decided that's what I was going to use to drink my pineapple upside down cake. So that's what's in my coffee cup. Henceforth, why I've got alcoholic beverages, and I chose those two that were the same because since the monkeys were going to be the same, I thought that would be better. Plus, since they have pineapples on them, it kind of ties in. And I did bring in my Paper Studio pineapple that's up there that was on a layout I did a couple days ago. That was like the craziest layout I've done in a while. This is not as crazy. I do love the way this turns out. So right now I'm just using scraps left over from what I just trimmed up to make all the little paper strips that are down here in the bottom left corner. And I distressed some of them. I tore some of them. And then some of them I just laid down. I just layered it up. And then I am going to, in the sketch, there is like a button there in that little cluster of strips. I'm going to take this champagne bottle that you see over on the left and that little glass of champagne, and I'm going to put that there instead because I felt like that tied everything together a little bit better. And I couldn't tell you. Oh, I'm still working on that. And then this little curvy blue paper, that is something that is from Creative Memories. I've had it for a very long time. I've got a bunch of them, and I'm trying to get them used up. So you've probably seen a few of them lately, and I can promise you will see at least one more tomorrow. Since I've already done that layout and that voiceover. So now I'm using the majority of the rest of this to put a little strip in the middle or somewhere in the two that are going to have the monkey because they are smaller than the cups, obviously, and so they're not going to take up as much space. So I thought I'd put this little swirly, scallopy border, branding, or whatever you want to call it, down. And so then I am going to put the monkeys on these two. I wanted to separate them. I thought they'd probably stand out better on the orange, but one goes on the orange, one goes on the pink. And I think they're super cute. And I thought, I don't know when I'm going to use those, but they're there. And as soon as I printed this picture, I went, oh, I know exactly what I'm going to do. Now, it's lovely when I remember those things, but then, there are plenty of times when that's not what happens. Now, you might think I'm crazy because I'm cutting the stem off of this cup, but what I am doing is laying that down, and then I'm going to put the cup over top of it so it looks like it is a short glass on top of that instead of a tall one, because it wouldn't have fit right. It would have been coming off, which is okay, but I didn't want that. I thought it would look better this way, and I do love the way it looks. I did that with some the other day, a couple weeks ago, but they were stickers and not these. These are just little embellishments that came out of a kit. And I did not do that accidentally where I set the top down first. I needed to figure out where it was going to go before I put the base down. So now I'm going to get a pen out, and I'm not going to journal. I will journal at some point before I put it away, but I just wrote the date on here. Obviously it's the 31st, so I'm not really going to forget that. And that is it. Here is the sketch again. Like I said, I can't tell. I think it says Heather, but I may be wrong. but it is a cute sketch, and it uses up some good scraps or layers of paper. And when you are trying to use up your paper pads because you have so many and you don't use them, it is a great thing. So, oh, and I added that big smile on there. That is from a Thickers set. I thought that was fitting, even though you can't tell that I'm smiling. My monkey is. So I hope you'll check out Scrapping Reflections. You'll find all the sketches there. You can check out the hashtag. I would love it if you would comment or thumbs up or like below. Have a great day and happy scrapping.